Okay. I'd like to start off this presentation by asking this question. How many times have you had to walk down an alley at night and thought this is definitely a safe route to go home? I'm probably guessing not that many times. Um, many of us have looked at something or someone and made assumptions based off our initial judgments and how we perceive the world. In my communications class, I have been learning about how we perceive ourselves and the people around us. And I would like to talk about that in this presentation and how our perceptions differ from person to person. First, I want to explain to you what perception is. Um, in chapter 2 of our textbook, the definition of perception means to assign meaning to a form of information. This could be a place, a person, a thing, basically pretty much anything. We all perceive things differently. Our perception is formed based off of our beliefs, which can be formed by friends, family, our environment, and etc. Um, when we look at someone, our brain makes interpretations based off of things like their appearance, what they're wearing, facial expressions and their posture and all things like that. So that's just a little bit about perception, and I want to go over this story that has happened to me. On my 21st birthday, when I went to the bar for the first time, um, the bartender was hesitant to give me a drink because he thought I was underage. And that's kind of like an example of how perception can be, misguided and stuff. Um, and yeah, he was, trying not to give me a drink on my 21st birthday. Um, anyway, okay, hopefully you could see like how misjudgment can, you know, affect how we view other people and, um, I also want to say, in the mhm, second chapter of my textbook, it brings up the fact that our minds try to simplify the information that we see from our past experiences and patterns that have been noticed. Um, which can change how, you perceive things later in life. And yeah. Perception can be very helpful, when you need to be alert of your surroundings. It can help you deal with multiple types of information coming to you at once. However, there are also times where your perception can be skewed, which is why it's important to be aware of how you view what's around you. Um, in conclusion, I talked about briefly about what perception is. I talked about a past experience I've had and how you need to be careful of how you perceive the world around you. Um, Perception is something that we will always use, especially when determining whether or not to go down a dark alley at night. That's it. Thank you.